Our speaker today is Jan Whitney. She's the executive director of the Parkinson's Association of Northern California. And for over 30 years, she's been a nonprofit manager. She has huge experience and has contributed to building local, state, and national organizations. She began her career in Washington, D.C. She has a passion for advocacy and working on behalf of voices that are unheard. And she's represented a variety of industries, including healthcare, that's now, agriculture, automotive, real estate, and she's especially fond of us guys, those of us that are involved in the Parkinson's world. So I welcome to the stage Jan Whitney.
Thank you, Peter. I am actually a Sonoma County resident. I live in Healdsburg, so our office is in Folsom. I'm very fortunate to be able to commute to Folsom when I need to, but I'm one of you, so I'm super happy to be here today. So thank you. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little information about the Parkinson Association of Northern California and what we do, who we are, how we work. The organization began in 1996 in the garage of Clarence Youngren, and he was an individual like so many of us looking for resources and help. So it started way back then. We only had our first executive director starting in 2017. So I was actually that executive director back then. I was the first executive director for PANC. They weren't quite ready for me at my level of what I do, because I tend to take organizations from little tiny organizations to middle-sized organizations with the funding and activities. So anyway, I came back. There's been about 4 executive directors in that time, and Parkinson's is a passion near and dear to me with all of my background. There's something about you all being heroes, and my heart is Parkinson's. I don't know what it is. I cry every time I make a presentation because I love you. I love what you do. I love what you stand for. So I'm back, and I'm so happy to be here, and I hope the rest of my career is with Parkinson's, because there's so much work to be done. There's so many people to help. And I'm also feel very fortunate in Northern California. I always tell people, if you're going to have Parkinson's disease, Northern California is the place to be. The rest of the country is not as progressive. There aren't as many services. There aren't as many service providers. So as lack as we have here, we actually have more than pretty much anywhere else in the country. So we are very blessed. But there's just so much more work to do, and so many more people to help, and so many more services to provide. So I'm really happy to be here. PANC is a 501c3 nonprofit. Our goal is to help provide services for people facing Parkinson's disease in Northern California. Many Parkinson's disease organizations exist. We're, boots on the ground, hands on the ground, feet on the ground, here to help people. Our mission is to help people with Parkinson's, and our motto is building community for the journey. And if I dance hard enough, higher. It might be the battery. Okay. Alicia, can you forward a slide? It's not working. Yeah. You never know. My grandpa had it, so you never know. Thank you. Do I just do by hand? There we go. Our operations, our budget is just about $350,000. We cover most of Northern California. We go all the way up to Redding, to Eureka, now down to Sausalito is a new one. We go through Sacramento Valley, all the way to Tahoe and Reno. So we're pretty large. Modesto is about the furthest south in the Central Valley that we go. But once again, we have a lot more work to do. So we have 48 groups right now. We have 2 mighty staff persons, myself and our office manager. We hope to add a 3rd. There's just too much work for 2 of us to do, and too many people to help. So we're hoping to add our 3rd person in the next couple of months. And then a little bit about our programs and services. I'm going to go into a little more detail about what we do, but we do support groups, care partner, respite grants, Parkinson Wise training. We just did one here this morning for the Santa Rosa group. Super great group. Newsletters, our annual conference, advocacy efforts, collaborations with other organizations, and then fundraising efforts. Okay, Alicia, next. Thank you. So how do we fund PANC? It's the same as you all. We work really hard to get funding for the organization, donations, general donor advised, employee matching programs, sponsorships like for our conference or some of our fundraising activities, grants. Right now we're applying for a grant with an organization called the Arthur Rupe Foundation. And Arthur Rupe was a music mogul. He moved here from Germany. He was a music mogul. He raised all kinds of money. He went into the oil industry, and then his wife had dementia and he was taking care of his wife. He ended up taking all his funds and putting into this organization, this foundation, and they fund nursing programs and dementia programs. Well, we did a program for them because they have somebody on their board of directors who wanted to learn more about Parkinson's disease. So we did a program for them. They invited us to submit a grant. So we're actually applying for a grant funding right now to create a program for care partners. So we can go out to support groups, care partners, but more so for senior living assisted facilities and in-home care facilities to go train those staff members on how to work with people with Parkinson's disease, because we're finding so many family members have loved ones in homes or in home, and the people that are helping them don't have any knowledge about Parkinson's disease, and pushing them to do things that they can't do or that they don't understand or off on periods. So anyway, we want to build a program to go out to these facilities to teach them. So we're applying for a $50,000 grant. So fingers crossed we get that, because there's nothing like it in the country right now. So we would be starting this type of program. So pretty cool. Go back just one more. Sorry. Go back. We're going forward. Go back. It won't let you go back. I'll let through. There we are. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the other major nonprofits for Parkinson's, because a lot of times people just don't know what they all do. So obviously one is the Michael J. Fox Foundation, and they do advocacy work, work on Capitol Hill, and then they also do their research. Awesome organization. I love working with their folks. They're great. The Parkinson's Foundation has the Aware and Care Kit. So if you're not familiar with the Aware and Care Kit that the Parkinson Foundation do, it looks like this, and they're free. You can get order them on your website, and it's a hospital pack. So it has all kinds of like questions in there. So when you go to the hospital with your loved one, it has all the medications that they need on there, what their care is, what you need to do, how you need to it's pretty cool. I know they just updated it. So if you don't have this, I recommend getting in contact with them. And the Parkinson Foundation also has like doctors on staff. So if you have questions that you can't get answered locally or from your movement disorder specialist or your neurologist or whoever you're working with, they do answer your questions. Just one caveat. So I love the foundation. They do a lot of great work. I'm just letting you know, if you contact them, you'll get in their database and you will get hit with a lot of donation asks. So I'm just giving you that awareness. So we all work together, but they are a little relentless on their fundraising. So just a heads up. The Davis Finney Foundation. Davis Finney was a Olympic bicyclist. He's from Colorado. He started a foundation. He has Parkinson's disease. So if you don't have this book, the Davis Finney organization puts together the Every Victory Counts books. It's like the Bible for Parkinson's disease. So if you do not have this book, it is amazing. And they also have one for care partners. It's also free. You can either download it or go on their website and order it. I think they're charging like $6 now for shipping, but it is free. But like, if you don't have this book, it's remarkable the way that they've written it. It's very conversational. But it's just, it literally, this has to be part of your library. And then PMD Alliance, that's also a national organization. They do tons of like exercise classes, informational classes on their website. They're all free, just another amazing organization. So check them out if you haven't already. Okay, thanks, Alicia. Forward, thanks. Okay, a little bit about our PANC's Medical Advisory Committee. We are, once again, in Northern California, we are one of the only collaborative entities in the country that all four of the health systems and throughout the Sacramento region all come together on a quarterly basis, and they meet and they talk about all issues Parkinson's. It's fascinating. It's way over my head. I don't understand most of what they're talking about. But these individuals get together every 3 months. We call it the Journal Club, and they'll have a topic. So all of the health systems are conversing and relating on what's happening at the latest and greatest in Parkinson's, and really elevating one another. And there really is no competition in the health systems about Parkinson's disease. I think most of the other disease states, well, we're the best hospital or we're the best hospital. With Parkinson's, they are all collaborative here. It's really wonderful. And even the pharmaceutical companies tell us, like, there's no other organization in the country that is doing what this medical advisory panel does. And they're the ones that like write the articles for our newsletter. So I'll let you know if anybody wants to get our newsletter. I'm going to leave a little list in the back. You can just put, we do an email newsletter, and this newsletter, it comes out quarterly, but it's always one of the medical advisory panel members that like writes the main article in it. So if you're interested, if you're not, don't worry. But anyway, those are the individuals on that committee, and they also plan our conference for us. So all the speakers that come, they have all the knowledge that kind of put that all together. So okay, Alicia, thanks. So a little bit about our support groups and care partners support groups. We have 48 support groups that are under our auspices. We're an independent Parkinson's organization, so we're not part of the foundation. So what we provide to our support groups, they're all independent. So they're like you, they run themselves. They do whatever they want to do. Their topics are their topics. We have no ownership over what they're doing at their groups, though they're all unique and they're all special. We provide, as an organization, we provide liability insurance to each of the groups. We do their funds management. So if they want to do exercise classes or whatever, so that they don't have to get a 501c3, they use ours. So all the funds management is through us. We give them a listing of potential speakers that they can have at their meetings. We do a workshop for the facilitators to help them do their jobs better. We put all the information about all the support groups on our website. So if people are looking for support groups, they can find them. We do brochures, business cards, and then ongoing committee and staff support. So if they want like a mentor to help them with their groups or whatever. And then if they have challenging folks that are showing up at their meetings, they call us. So I'm the heavy. So. And the recently formed groups, we have a Lincoln Care Partner Group, Chico, but we're starting to see more care partner groups show up, which is wonderful and amazing because y'all need the support just as much as everybody else. So yeah. Okay, Alicia. Our respite care grant program is probably the best, coolest. I mean, we do lots of cool stuff, but one of the coolest things we do $600 grants for the caregiver resource centers for care partners. So if a care partner needs to go to a doctor's appointment, if you want to go play golf just to have a little bit of time for yourself and you can't leave your loved one and you don't have anybody else to watch your loved one, we'll provide a grant of $600 to the CRC so that you can bring somebody into your home. So Redwoods would be the CRC for you all. So if anybody here is interested in getting a grant, you just apply online. It's super easy. And all we ask for is a confirmation that there's a PD diagnosis, and then we will issue the grant. So you can just go onto our website if you're interested and find out about it. The application's on there, and Sharon, our office manager, knows all. So if you have any questions about the program, and it's a 1-year grant. So the $600 is good for a year. And then after that year, if you want to apply again, you can. So we provide about $30,000 to $40,000 a year in grant monies based on our fundraising. Okay, Alicia. Our annual conference is also our claim to fame. The pharmaceutical companies say the same thing. They say it's the best one in the country. I wouldn't disagree just because it's so cool. Yeah, if you haven't had an opportunity to go, it's just amazing. We also do it online, so you can watch online. I know it's far for you all, or maybe carpool together or something. It'll be September 28th this year. It's from 9 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. Lunch is included. Last year we had about 800 people attend. We always have a keynote speaker, lots of amazing speakers, all part of that medical advisory committee that come up with the speakers. It's just, there's tons of resources. There's about 60 booths there with vendors, various vendors, pharmaceutical companies, device companies, just lots of resources. It's camaraderie. It's just amazing. It's super inspirational. It's fun, just to meet other people that are in the same position. Anyway, if you have the opportunity to attend, it's $20 online, $30 to attend. It costs us $400 a person to run the meeting, which is unbelievable. It's crazy. But once again, we fundraise that we can get everybody in there. It's just like the big space and all the audio visual. It's nuts. The cost of this thing is insane, but it is so worth it. And it's just a really lovely event. So I highly recommend you can come if you can come. And then if you register, we do a recording of it. So you get the recording afterwards. So if you can't sit through the whole thing or don't want to because it's long, you can get the recording later. This year, Twitchy Woman is going to be the keynote speaker. We're also going to be discussing sleep issues, GI issues, cognition, orthostatic hypotension. I don't know what that is. It's over my head. And research updates. Okay. Our publications, we do two. We have the newsletter that I showed you, and we also do an email once a month. There's just tons of resources on the email. So usually like all the different programs that are out nationally, they're all free. So there's just tons of links in it. This month, we're talking about different exercise options that are online. There's a million. Stanford has assembled a list of, all over the country, all the various websites that are available that have free classes and different options for voice classes, Rocksteady classes, what have you, Tai Chi, but they're all free. So that's in there this month. There's always, we try to have an inspirational article on it, but the email blast is pretty cool. And that's once a month, usually comes out about the middle of the month. Once again, I'm going to leave this in the back, and just if you want to put your email address on there, if you want the email, or if you want your address for the mailed email, or I guess we won't mail it anymore. We can't afford to do that. So yeah, so if you just put your email address on here, we can email you both. So I'm going to leave it in the back, and I can't stay today until after the meeting. So Peter will make sure to get this to me. So thank you. Oh, no, I'm also going to leave some of these bags back there. They're left from our conference, and it has the program in it from the last conference. So there's a few of these back there. So if anybody wants to grab one of these bags too, go ahead and take one. Okay. Parkinson Wise is another program that we built, and we did one here this morning. Parkinson Wise is for exercise professionals, for them to learn how to work with people with Parkinson's disease. So Tai Chi instructors, yoga instructors, Rocksteady instructors, physical therapists, anybody who is working with Parkinson's folks or wants to learn more and wants to build a clientele. It's to teach them how to work with people with Parkinson's disease. So we created this, it was trademarked. We worked with Kaiser Permanente to build this program back in 2017. So we've trained about 500 people so far through Northern California on the program. And then once people take the training, their name is on our website. So if you were looking for somebody who's Parkinson Wise trained, you go to our website, you look up who and where, and you can find them there. But we trained 20 more people this morning. So thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate the support. But once again, it's another cool initiative of PANC that we kind of came up with on our own and just trying to move the needle forward a little bit. So the National Plan to End Parkinson's Act. This is the Michael J. Fox Foundation initiative. We have become more involved in advocacy. I think with my background in advocacy work, it's near and dear to me. It moves the needle, it helps. So I've been really trying to push this initiative. The Michael J. Fox National Plan to End Parkinson's Act. It just passed through Congress on December 15th, which is amazing because they introduced it last year. It didn't pass. So this year it did just pass through Congress, which is huge. So next it goes to the Senate. So what the act does, it kind of brings the public sector and the government sector together to increase federal research funding, develop more pathways for treatments and cures, improve early diagnosis, new models for patient care, and enhance public awareness. So there's a link on, I'll send it to Peter, and if you could send it out, if you could contact your senator, your local senator, and there's a link on the Michael J. Fox website to contact them that, yes, I want this. And it literally just goes right to your senator. It's super easy. It's a little form. And it makes all the difference in the world when the senators hear from you and hear your stories. You don't have to put a story. If you want to, you can. If you don't want to, but just tell your story. This is why we need this. But it really increases funding. It's going to increase insurance coverage for different devices, for products, for pharma. So it's really supposed to enhance what's happening in Parkinson's. Parkinson's is like Alzheimer's was 40 years ago. You know, we're just so far behind. There's so much that needs to be done. So this act is really to get us kind of up and going with like the rest of society on getting more help out there for Parkinson's. So I know a lot of people are like, it's to cure Parkinson's. Part of it is, but also the other part of it is to help you all. Okay. The PANC initiatives for this coming year. We're working with the San Diego Association to build a class of continuing education credits for mental health professionals, once again, to work with people with Parkinson's disease. So that program is just about completed. So that's exciting. We're also, I told you about the program that we're working on with the grant application. We just got a really nice donation from an individual who wants us to do more work in rural areas. This woman's husband passed. He had Parkinson's disease. They lived in rural Colorado, no services whatsoever to help them. So they really want us to get to like the Central Valley, into the Spanish-speaking communities, because the Spanish-speaking communities, I don't know if you know, but paraquat is a herbicide used in the fields. They use it here in Sonoma County. It's legal in the United States of America and nowhere else in the world. And they are saying that it is causing Parkinson's disease. The statistics are there. That and trichloroethylene, which is TCE. Trichloroethylene is used in cleaning solvents, dry cleaning, computer parts, rocket parts, manufacturing. So like the Superfund sites in Silicon Valley, the 10 Superfund sites, that's all TCE. So paraquat and TCE are both, they're saying, causing a major cause of Parkinson's disease, up to 80%. So we want to try to eradicate these two chemicals because they're both still legal in the United States and nowhere else in the world. Go ahead. This is per Ray Dorsey. So Dr. Ray Dorsey is a neurologist from New York. He's a physician from New York, and he just wrote this book, and he's proclaiming that that is the number. So that is like, and statistics are starting to back him up. So it's just kind of this like new, and it's not being discussed. So I don't understand why this information isn't out on the news stations, why, you know, Good Morning America isn't picking it up. I think it's coming because Michael J. Fox is also, that's also part of the National Plan to End Parkinson's Act, is to ban paraquat and trichloroethylene because the numbers are there. Agent Orange, same thing. Yeah, I know, it's insane. If I talk about it, I will start to cry because I get so mad. So that's why I really implore you to get on the Michael J. Fox's website on their act, because that also would include banning trichloroethylene and paraquat. So back to the initiative. So also the paraquat piece of it in the Central Valley, where there's so many fields, farm workers. I just came from working for the California Farm Labor Contractor Association. So many farm workers, but they don't understand Parkinson's disease. And statistically, the Central Valley has the highest amount of Parkinson's disease in the country, but they don't know. They don't even know what it is. Like the Spanish speaking community, for the most part, doesn't know what Parkinson's is. They like, it's some evil spirit. It's just, you know, culturally, they don't know, and there's no services for them. There's no Spanish speaking services for them. So it's just incredibly heartbreaking. So I'm here saying, you know, I know Parkinson's sucks. However, we're blessed here to have this group and have resources and people to talk to. And there's so many people that don't. So I'm really excited to get to work on this initiative. We're also reviewing our memorandum of understanding, technical word for our agreements with our support groups this year. We're reviewing our respite grant process and trying to bump up the funding on that because we did run out of funding this last year. We had to stop it in November. And then we also want to do something in Sonoma County because we do all of our fundraising events in Sacramento County, but we're not a Sacramento County. I think until Zoom, everything was kind of local, right? For running the organization because everybody was there. But now that we can be all over the place, it's just feeling weird to just keep everything in Sacramento. So we, want to kind of come over here and do something with you all or try to connect on something. So yeah, I think that's it. I think, on behalf of us, thank you so much for being here today and everything you do. And your group is amazing. We're super impressed with your group. You have your own 501c3 or your own organization doing your own amazing work, but we collaborate. I think all of the Parkinson's organizations, there's absolutely no competition between any of the organizations and the exercise professionals. We're all in the same boat. We all just need to do more for more. So we're here to help. So Sharon, our office manager, she is available as often as she can. If you ever have any questions or resources, I think that's the other big thing we do. We answer thousands of phone calls a year from even across the world. We'll get a call from England on a random day. We don't know where to find this. Where do we go? And we can help. So if you have any questions on where to find things or people or what have you, just let us know. We're around. Okay.